Welcome to the SAP HANA Cloud Platform Podcast. This is episode 3, recorded on May 12, 2015. And today's speakers, it's Matthias Steiner and Rune Guerra from the product management of the HANA Cloud Platform. And today it will be completely about the Sapphire Now 2015, which happened actually just last week. Matthias, have you overcome the jet lag?
Yeah, hi, Rui. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I think I'm already adapting quite well. I mean, coming back is always a little bit harder than going there, but we had a good weekend.
Tell me, I was also in the US last week and woke up today at 2:30 in the morning, and it's quite refreshing to have nearly a complete working day already behind you when recording this.
Yeah, and as you know, I have a newborn at home, so it's, sleep is the most precious good again these days.
Speaking about precious goods, HANA Cloud Platform was pretty special this time at Sapphire Now, right? You were there, right?
Yeah, I was there, and I've been there for the last couple of years, and it's just incredible to see the uptake we finally achieved with HANA Cloud Platform. I mean, I don't know why they didn't call it the HANA Cloud Platform show in the first place, because really we have been omnipresent in all the keynotes and everything. And I've just been there, reminiscing back to the early days, and was like, wow, we've certainly came a long way. So that's been really great.
So omnipresence of the HANA Cloud Platform at Sapphire Now. So we were quite prominently also featured in the keynote from Bill McDermott, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was surprising that even Bill touched upon the topic, given that he was, referring all the technical stuff to Bernd on the next day. But he talked a little bit about HCP and Platform as a Service, and he also briefly covered the Hamburg Port Authority project that we did back in the day. You know about this one, just to give a little bit of an impression on where we're heading with IoT and connected logistics and all these kind of things. So really, really cool stuff to really see even Bill talk about it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Talking about IoT, so we also came out with the IoT services with the HANA Cloud Platform. So we already talked about that in the last episode of the podcast briefly. So how was, from your point of view, as a participant of Sapphire Now, how was the overall perception around IoT with the HANA Cloud Platform?
Yeah, I mean, I still think that this is a topic that's just gaining traction, because I believe that many customers don't yet see how IoT is relevant for them, right? Because they just think, well, I'm not into logistics, I'm not into manufacturing, so for me it's not that important. I think that's something that will slowly change over time. But anyway, I think that the use cases that have been displayed, I mean, people got the idea. People really see the value there. And also Steve Lucas, I mean, he's just all over the topic, right? I mean, he's been addressing it back and forth, also on the press conferences. And he has, in his usual style, he really gets the point across about why this matters and the value that the HANA Cloud Platform brings to the table here. But in general, I believe that you're much more sophisticated when it comes to really expressing what IoT means to developers and so forth. So I mean, better if
I mean, the IoT services are great. I mean, I just tried them out. As you know, I was working for quite some time now on a blog post series around IoT on the HANA Cloud Platform in general. So without having the IoT services in place, but now with having them, it makes things so much easier. So you get an endpoint created where you can send over your data and get the data persisted automatically. You get authorization covered too, so with OAuth, and comes in quite handy, because you don't have to go through the complete OAuth flow, but are rather supported by getting automatically the access token that you can use then for your applications to send data over to the HANA Cloud Platform. So that's pretty nice. So I will try to finalize now the next blog post in the next couple of days. But what I found even more impressing is also what Siemens presented there at Sapphire now. I think it was together with Bernd Leukert, right? So this
that was in Bernd Leukert's keynote. And you're right. I mean, this certainly created quite a fuss also among the analysts because I'm always sitting close to the analyst table at these keynotes to just get a little bit of what they're all about, and then closely following the Twitter stream, and they really bought into this. And of course, it's a great deal, and it's a great partnership, and it also shows the how mature the HANA Cloud Platform has become in the meanwhile. That such a big player now decides to go with us, and especially after having looked at the competition, as Siemens was eagerly pointing out, that they have looked everywhere, and it came back to us to say, okay, we want to do this with you guys on the HANA Cloud Platform. So that is really, really a great showcase, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I haven't gone through all the material yet, but have they actually also looked into Hadoop integration with this Siemens case? Did they talk about that?
The whole big data platform topic, I mean, they briefly touched upon this, but I didn't go into it in much more detail. So no, barely. I mean, I think Irfan Khan just a few weeks ago, he did talk about what we're doing there on the Hadoop Summit, I believe. But over here at Sapphire, I mean, big data, when it really comes down to technical stuff, it's more of a technical topic. So I guess they probably save really some of the materials also for TechEd and just kept it on a high level here for
because I mean that's something I also find very a very good message for everybody who's thinking of moving also to the IoT space, because I mean there is big money on the table around this topic, right? So companies are trying to understand how they can participate in that, and having now somebody like Siemens standing there and saying that they are providing now an IoT platform as an OEM business model based on the HANA Cloud Platform. That's a very strong message, and also for those who are unsure yet if and how they can take part of this, I think that with that proof point, the HANA Cloud Platform is really a good choice for everybody, right, who wants to go into this direction.
Yes, and I think that message really came across. I mean, if people doubted in the past what HANA Cloud Platform is good for and whether or not it's worthwhile looking into it, I think everybody got that no matter where they are, if they're still on premise, if they want to go for Fiori-like cloud applications, then HCP is for them, right? If they have already SaaS solutions like SuccessFactors and they want to extend them and add additional functionality, HCP is for them. If they're going hybrid, HCP. Even going further, as for HANA, the designated extension and platform and agility platform, it's HCP. So that was omnipresent, and everybody got that. And as I said also in my sessions, is you better take a look at this thing now, because this is here to stay, and you really need to look into it. And it's as easy as it ever was to get hands-on experience and get started with all the free trials and the open SAP courses. And so I said there's no excuses really of not looking into it. So, and people get that.
So meaning also the whole extension story was being looked at also extensively, as you just mentioned, with S/4HANA, right? I think Cloud for Customer was also shown there, how you can extend it with HANA Cloud Platform. Yep,
they also showed that. So again, I mean, the two of us, we have been into this for so long, so we know most of the stuff, but really seeing it all at the show floor, on stage, and people really, really being interested in it. I mean, this is a different thing. Like I did a lecture on Fiori as a service, and I had a standing room only. I mean, seriously, the room was packed, and it's so cool now to see really people getting the benefits that they get with HANA Cloud Platform, and this is really, really, I mean, for me, as part of the HANA product management team, this has been really, really a great year.
Yeah. So fortunately, HANA Cloud Platform will not be perceived as the best kept secret at SAP, right? moving forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, well,
I don't know who it was, but somebody even said that. So this is now way beyond us, but now everybody should know about it, and I'm sure that the message got across at Sapphire this time.
Okay. So, what did you gather? I mean, did you gather any specific feedback from analysts there, from people who come from the partner side, with some interesting thoughts or feedback or questions that you would like to share?
Actually, I'm still looking forward to seeing some of the posts materialize that I hope we will be seeing. But that the essence really was, and this was just at the Hilton Bar, the Hilton Bar conversations with the analysts. I mean, what they really liked was the fact that actually HCP was front and center at the keynotes. Because in the past, I said it's such an important topic, right? I mean, for SAP, it's really applications and platform coming together. And we talked a lot about the HANA platform, but for SAP, really trying to be and our ambitions to be the number one cloud platform player. I mean, we didn't talk enough. This is the perceived, perceived impressions from the analysts. We didn't talk enough about the HANA cloud platform, and this time we did. Mm-hmm. So they really said, okay, it was about time that we call this thing what it is, that we say this is platform as a service, and how it really helps in all these scenarios we outlined before, like cloud extensions, hybrid scenarios, on-premise extensions, and so forth. And they really liked it. Yeah, so I'm really, really interested to see their more detailed blog posts. But in essence, they really liked it.
Yeah. I think it's mainly about also at the end, not too much about each tiny specific technology part of the platform. I think it's more of what kind of value does it provide, and if you think about how you can bring into innovation into your business, I think this is an important part, right? Because you might still be on a very old SAP backend system, which you don't want to upgrade because you say, okay, the effort is not worth for me because everything is working fine. But with HANA Cloud Platform as an extension platform, you can really do additional innovation on top of what you already have without having to modify too much on your backend side, right? And I think that's also for customers something that they are very much interested in, and which also created this as you said, this big fuss around the platform, because I think people are beginning to understand what they can really do with the HANA Cloud Platform.
And I mean, you refer to this whole notion of pace layered ITs, right? And having two different speeds. I mean, having a stable core and having that additional sidecar approach with an agility layer, if you will, which is the HANA Cloud Platform. And this is exactly how we position this platform going forward with S/4HANA, right? To say keep a stable core so that you can actually install updates and install service packs and so forth. And the really innovative stuff, the things where you want to differentiate from your competition, this is really taking place in the HANA Cloud Platform. And I think people understand that quite well, yeah.
So did you hear any, or not sure if you were involved in any of this new App Store topics, so where partners can put their applications on that they built with HANA Cloud Platform? Were you involved in that?
Yeah, but involved is a broad term. Yes, I've tried to stay on top of things. And Steve, I mean, we had a meeting with Steve, and he really was eager to ensure everybody knows that we have a tremendous uptake with the App Center. So it's roughly around 1,000 applications, I believe, so far. Lots of them coming already from partners like Accenture, IBM, and so forth. So this is really something where this whole platform game finally comes together, because I mean, I've been addressing this for a long time, but it's not about having it the best technical platform. I mean, many people come to us because they understand that we and our ecosystem is so broad, so they really want to get into also this commercial platform and becoming part of our ecosystem. So those two really goes hand in hand, and as such, the App Center is really a vital piece to this bigger puzzle, if you will.
Yeah, and I think it's also quite interesting for business units in bigger companies to get their hands on specific apps that they are interested in without having to involve their IT departments too much, right? So
absolutely.
So that they can just go ahead and click on the button and buy this application and just also, or maybe even try out, right? They also have a trial possibility there, right, for these applications.
Yeah.
So to really understand how the app works, and then to again create speed in their business, and then maybe later on also involve IT when it will come into integration, or maybe extending those applications again, right?
Yep. So again, the story is really coming together, and right now, I mean, the two of us, we're already, one step ahead now, preparing for TechEd, and just to, looking forward, I see, oh my God, we have so much of good stuff coming up.
It will be so cool.
Yeah. So we have been big topic this time at Sapphire, but let's just go, look forward to TechEd, and I think we will be all over the place, and it's going to be really, really, really cool.
Yeah, talking about other cool stuff, for those of you who haven't heard yet, and I think it was also covered at Sapphire now, the HANA Distinguished Engineer Program has now also an HANA Cloud Platform flavor. So this program is actually a program which wants to nominate the elite, let's say, or the best of breed developers out there who use HANA and corresponding technologies. And the number rose now to, I think, around about 50 HANA Distinguished Engineers. And with the HANA Cloud Platform now, we also joined this program and nominated 4 new HANA Distinguished Engineers. And one of them is actually you, Matthias, right?
Wow, yeah, thanks. Quite the honor, and really caught me by surprise. So thanks for that. That was really, really, really good to see. And I had the chance to meet 2 of the other ones at Sapphire as well. So Robin was there, and Dick Hirsch was there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's quite some names on that list, and I'm quite honored to be part of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So namely, we can also mention them, all of them, right? So it's Chris.
Yeah, it's Chris. The only one I did mention.
Chris Payne, the HR guru, I would say, around the HANA Cloud Platform. So around all the SuccessFactors integration. Then Dick Hirsch, I would say the Sherlock.
Everybody knows Dick Hirsch.
the Sherlock Holmes of the HANA Cloud Platform. So really awesome what Dick puts together here when looking into materials that he gets that are freely available, and also putting together pieces that he catched up now at Sapphire Now. I know that he is planning right now to write, he said, a short blog post, only 10 pages.
Yeah.
And last but not least, also Robin Vanethoff. So also very prominent HANA Cloud Platform developer who also was involved in the new book around the HANA Cloud Platform, right? And at last but not least, of course, Matthias Steiner, my partner in crime, on the microphone, or better on the phone. And we hope to get much more such HANA Distinguished Engineers, really to also show that there are quite a lot of people outside who have a deep understanding of specific technologies around HANA. So in our case, we are interested in HANA Cloud Platform experts. So in case you want to join, just go to developers.sap.com/cloud. on our community page on SCN, where you also see a link to a blog post which explains you how you can become an HANA Distinguished Engineer. It would be really great to have much more of such experts on the HANA Distinguished Engineer program. And let's see how much we will be able to attract here, because I think the platform, as you just said, is, for me as a developer, it's simply a dream, right? So how much stuff comes in now. So what we had before, now with the IoT services, we even have now a gamification service. So in case that you are planning to gamify your enterprise application, already some supporting services there too. So really excited about that.
Well, what I really found worth mentioning in this context is this whole idea of, at the beginning it was just the HANA Cloud Platform team developing on the platform, right? But now these days, so many people are developing inside of SAP are developing applications on top of the thing, and not only applications, but in many of these applications, you suddenly realize, oh, wait a second, that functionality is something that other applications could definitely use as well. So why not, extract that and turn it into an application service so that everybody can use it? I mean, this is basically what happens with the gamification service, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think that's just one of those early proof points, and we see a lot more of this stuff coming up. So, as you said, really, really exciting stuff. Also looking forward to take it again.
And the list of services that you get on your account is really becoming interestingly long. So I just was looking for the IoT services in my account, and I was scrolling down and down and down and down and down and down
Wow.
until I finally found it. So pretty nice stuff. If you would have to select if you would have to select three things that you keep in mind now from Sapphire, now that you would like also people to know and to understand, which of those three are in your mind? So we already talked about now in general, but which of those things that you listened and learned really stick to your mind now and will stick there for quite some time?
Number one, and I'm dead serious on this, Bill McDermott on stage without a tie.
Okay.
Wow, that's really telling you something. Things are changing at SAP. No, that was amazing. And people were crazy. It was like, oh, what? Wait a second. Bill McDermott, no tie? Everybody was just taking off theirs. Okay. And really, across the whole show floor, you saw so many people without a tie this year. So really the most fundamental change ever. Other than that, I think, IoT is really one of the big things. And the way we have really tried, to explain on a high level on a cloud platform has always been like three major scenarios, three major plays. And the IoT scenario is now the fourth pillar, I would say. Mm-hmm. Other than that, again, it's this whole notion, and I talked about this quite prominently also at Sapphire, is that when you look at cloud, infrastructure as a service is becoming commodity business, right? We know that, so we're not going to compete on there. Mm-hmm. The next level on top of that, platform as a service. If you look around, you see that the major platforms are pretty much offering very similar sets. So the key differentiator going forward is really in the set of application services and capabilities you put on top. Mm-hmm. And this is really where it gets interesting. And here you can see is now with the Cypress as a service coming up, with the gamification service, you can really see that SAP is continuously, adding and contributing more capabilities here to make sure that we have the most comprehensive set of capabilities and platform services available on the market. So this is something I want everybody to understand, is that we are heavily investing in growing this number. Yeah. And as I mentioned, we're not only growing this number from the core team, which has tremendously increased over the last couple of years as well, but also other parties from SAP are contributing to increasing that number. Plus, we have already reached out and talked now to other platform service partners and so forth. So we also see external platform capabilities being added to that mix. So that is really just an indicator that this thing is just getting better and better.
Yeah, and I mean this and also together with that also our efforts around the Cloud Foundry Foundation and the OpenStack Foundation. I think this will also not only show that we are adding things right on top of what we have, but also on the other hand also ensure that we still keep the platform as open as possible, building on open standards, so that whenever somebody wants to use a platform, that the knowledge you have to bring in addition to what you already know is pretty small, right? So if you you don't have to learn too much proprietary stuff, and I think this is something also key, which is important for people who are actually looking for such a platform to use, right?
Totally, and as you mentioned it, I mean, Cloud Foundry, the Cloud Foundry Summit is happening as we speak, and our manager, Andreas Westermann, is right there talking about it. So I think we should give him a shout out, and maybe we should also get him into one of the next podcasts so that he can actually, let us know what happened there and so forth. Would be really cool.
Absolutely.
If he can find the time.
Absolutely. and shout out also to our US PM colleagues, right? So we
right. Jenny and team, they're on site as well, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So let's see that we can put much more around what is going on here also on the podcast. So at least from my side, I think we pretty much covered Sapphire now from a HANA Cloud Platform perspective. Any other additional last words from you, Matthias?
The thing is, I just came back from Orlando, and in 10 days I'm already on my way to Australia for Mastering SAP Technologies, where I'll meet with people like Chris and others. And so I'm really, really excited to present HANA Cloud Platform there and also get some impressions on what the Australian community thinks about HANA Cloud Platform. And I will report back, of course, in early June.
Very, very cool. So for those of you who might have questions, or where questions just pop up in your mind while listening to this, you can raise your questions on Twitter. So just tweet us your question with the hashtag HCP Podcast, and in one of the following episodes we will respond to that. So we will try to pick the top 3, top 4 questions and also talk about those here in the podcast. With that said, that was episode 3 of the HANA Cloud Platform Podcast. Thanks a lot, Matthias, for joining this episode.
Thank you.
And have a good trip to Australia, and send greetings to all the usual suspects there. And
I will.
That's Melit, and thanks to all of you who are listening to this podcast. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
The SAP HANA Cloud Platform Podcast is powered by OpenSAP. OpenSAP is SAP's innovative learning platform and a thought leader for enterprise massive open online courses. It provides you with an engaging and effective learning experience through gamification and by connecting you with other learners and SAP experts. OpenSAP courses are free of charge and are offered in English. Enroll today to one of our OpenSAP courses on open.sap.com.